Imagine this. You just survived the worst month at work, double shifts, exhausting hours. Your phone buzzes, paycheck notification, $2,000 earned. You're already mentally spending it. Then you check your bank account, $1,456. Where did $544 go? Federal income tax, state tax, Social Security, Medicare. Over 27% just gone. Completely legal. You're expected to smile and say thank you for civilization. But what if most people go their entire lives without understanding where that money goes, how banks actually work, or why a three-digit number controls whether they can buy a house? What if the entire financial system is both simpler and more manipulatable than you ever imagined? Welcome to TM Finance. The next 6 minutes will completely change how you think about money. Let's dive in. Taxes fund roads, schools, food safety inspectors, and billion-dollar missiles to places you've never been. Here's what's draining your paycheck. Income tax hits the money you earn. Progressive rates from 10 to 37% federally. Sales tax hits what you spend, hurting lower earners proportionally more. Capital gains tax taxes investment profits, often at lower rates than income, explaining why billionaires sometimes pay less than their secretaries. Social Security tax is forced retirement savings, paid back when you retire at 67. Medicare tax funds health insurance for seniors and disabled people. The absurd part? The government already knows what you owe, but makes you guess through complicated forms. Guess wrong? Penalties, audits, potential prison. Countries with higher taxes generally have better quality of life, healthcare, and education. The question isn't whether taxes are bad, it's whether you're getting value. You deposit $1,000 thinking it's safe in a vault. Reality? Within hours, the bank loaned $900 to someone buying a jet ski. This is fractional reserve banking. Banks only keep 10% on hand because not everyone withdraws simultaneously. They're middlemen, paying you 0.5 to 2% interest, then loaning your money at 5 to 25% interest, profiting from the spread. Why participate? Convenience, interest payments, and FDIC insurance. The vulnerability? Bank runs, when everyone withdraws at once, like 2008. Banks don't actually have everyone's money, so panic can collapse the entire system. Government insurance prevents this through trust. Interest is money charging rent to exist in someone else's hands. Simple interest is a flat fee. Compound interest is exponential, interest on interest. The dark side: a $5,000 credit card balance at 20% interest becomes $10,000 plus if you only make minimums. That $12 burrito turns into a $50 regret sitting on your card for 2 years. This is why credit card debt is devastating. You're paying interest on previous interest. The bright side: invest $10,000 at 7% annually for 30 years, and compound interest turns it into $76,000 without adding a penny. Add $500 monthly, over $660,000. Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Your strategy: if paying interest, kill it fast. If earning interest, feed it and give it time. Interest is either your worst enemy or best unpaid employee, depending on who's collecting. Your $5 bill is still $5, but it buys fewer chips, less gas, fewer subscriptions. Inflation is money slowly losing purchasing power. What causes it? Demand pull. Too much money chasing limited goods. 2,000 people want 1,000 TVs, so prices rise to $800. Cost push. Production costs increase, pass to consumers. Expectations: if people expect higher prices, they spend now, driving prices up faster. A self-fulfilling prophecy. 2% annual inflation is normal and healthy, but 5 to 8% plus destroys savings and wages. Governments fight inflation by raising interest rates, making borrowing expensive, cooling spending, and bringing prices down. It's economic chemotherapy. Kills inflation but can harm the economy and trigger recessions. Key takeaway: cash loses 2 to 3% annually to inflation. Keeping money in checking accounts guarantees losses. Smart money moves into assets appreciating faster than inflation. Stocks, real estate, bonds. A recession is 6 months of economic decline. One day you're fine, job, bills paid, planning vacations. Suddenly, layoffs, crashing markets, businesses closing. You wonder if you're next. The spiral: Businesses see reduced demand, cut costs, lay off workers. Unemployed workers buy only necessities. Reduced spending means less revenue, more layoffs. The cycle feeds itself. Causes: high interest rates choking growth. Global crises. Natural economic cycles. Boom times eventually correct through painful resets. Government response: lower interest rates, stimulus checks, emergency business loans, infrastructure spending. Eventually spending returns, confidence rebuilds, growth resumes. But recessions leave scars, diminished retirement accounts, foreclosed homes, derailed careers. The lesson: recessions are inevitable. Prepare with emergency savings, diversified income, and financial resilience. Your credit score determines whether you can buy a house, lease a car, or get reasonable interest rates. Below 580, financial red flag. 740 plus, preferred customer with best rates.
It's not about wealth, it's about trust. A millionaire who never borrowed might have a mediocre score. A young professional with perfect payments might have an excellent score.
How it's calculated: payment history. One late payment drops your score 50 to 100 points. Credit utilization. Using $9,000 of $10,000 limit tanks your score. $1,000 of $10,000 helps. Credit history length. Older accounts help. Credit mix. Variety shows responsibility. New inquiries. Too many applications signal desperation. Improve it. Pay everything on time. Keep balances low. Don't close old accounts. Limit new applications. Dispute credit report errors. The truth: it's like a pet dog. Ignore it, and it ruins your life. Care for it consistently, and it helps you buy a house. The game is rigged, but understanding rules lets you work the system. Money isn't real. It has no inherent value beyond collective agreement. A dollar bill is paper. Bitcoin is code. There's no more legitimacy to a dollar than a rock. We just decided dollars buy things, and rocks don't. Money is humanity's most successful shared fiction, enabling complex civilization. The government prints it, central banks regulate supply, we trade it for goods. But if everyone stopped believing, worthless overnight. Understanding this is key. You can't create money, so create value people exchange money for. Combat inflation and build wealth by investing. Getting money to work for you instead of trading time for money. Options: stocks, bonds, funds, real estate, alternative assets. Investing isn't luck, it's being early, staying diversified, and being patient for compound growth over decades. Most wealthy people invested consistently for 30+ years and let time do the work. Yes, markets fluctuate, but the real danger isn't losing money short-term. It's never investing and watching inflation steal your future. Pick up a rock, worthless. Pick up gold, valuable. Why? Collective perception. Wealthy people understand. Value is perception. Provide value, earn money. Steve Jobs created iPhones. Millions saw value, paid thousands. Doctors provide high-value services, earn high incomes. Louis Vuitton sells similar handbags as Target, but charges 100 times more through perceived brand value. Equation: value provided multiplied by number of people equals income potential. Figure out how to create value: solving problems, building products, providing expertise, or creating perception through branding, and you can make substantial money. Time is non-renewable. You can make more money, but not more time. Most trade time for money. The wealthy multiply time's value through skills, leverage, automation. But time's greatest power is in long-term investing. No greater wealth-building force exists than time plus compound interest. Someone investing $500 monthly from 25 to 35, then stopping, will have more at 65 than someone investing $500 monthly from 35 to 65. The earlier investor had an extra decade of compound growth. This is why ordinary people with modest incomes retire with 7 figures. They didn't beat the system, they used time as their ally. A little money invested consistently, given enough time, becomes a lot. That's not inspiration, it's mathematics. There it is, the complete financial framework controlling your adult life that schools never taught you. The bottom line: the financial system seems complicated because it benefits those who designed it when you don't understand. But once you know the rules, even unfair ones, you can play strategically, optimize taxes, leverage banks while avoiding fee traps, build excellent credit, combat inflation through investing, Prepare for recessions. Harness compound interest for wealth building.
The most important step? Taking action. Start building credit responsibly. Open that investment account. Set up automatic contributions for compound interest. Learn to provide value. Treat time as the non-renewable resource it is.
If this finally made finance make sense, smash that subscribe button. We're releasing financial education content weekly to give you confidence instead of confusion. This is TM Finance, empowering you with financial knowledge you deserve. Make the system work for you, not against you. See you in the next one.